Hey all, and this is the Swarming Terror event. This is Earth and Immortal Killer. Now I have got the event deck, however before I was using the event deck, this is the team I was using. This has 4 Immortal Killer heroes and the ultra rare from the golems deck. This was pretty useful on the maps. So 3 cards from the quick and dirty deck. These all spawn power gems. And then the ultra rare from this deck resets and charges 2 of the cards, so that's pretty useful. You get 2 turns effectively with those cards. And then I have this card as lead. This one has the 600% HP for all Earth Immortal Killer heroes, so this was really useful for boosting up the other cards. This is also a good card to have as your lead card if you don't have the event deck. This one has a nuke skill and spawns power gems passively, so it's quite useful for getting through the crusade and the waves. And then finally, the high performance unit area. This one has that damage immunity and that lovely 2500% damage bonus. This card I have been using in quite a few of my event decks. You may have seen me use this last Commander event. So onto the 2 actual event decks. This is quite an interesting deck. The event cards have this weird poison skill. This one has a massive damage reduction skill. That one also spawns power gems. And this one is another good power gem spawning card. And then I use this with 2 cards from the golems deck. That gets a lot of power gems up. This is mainly for the bosses, and then the ultra rare gives the damage immunity and the supercharged bonus. So for the maps, something slightly different. It's just 2 copies of the ultra rare from the golems deck instead. So there we go, just having another look at this card. He poisons all enemies, doing 50% of the damage of the main attack at the end of the next 3 turns. So I think let's get on with some actual gameplay. Let's start with the crusade. So I think let's do a korelium map. I'm going to use the event deck with the 2 ultra rare golems cards. I need a card that's immortal killer and has that 600% HP bonus. So let's have a look through. The verdant druids is a good choice. Quick and dirty is not so good as it's only 300% HP. Obviously the ultra rare Master Collection hero or ultimate form from the event deck will do as well perfectly. There's quite a few ultimate forms up. I think let's just show how it can be done with the druids card. So here we go. All right. Hopefully it will load. There we go. So having 2 high performance unit areas will hopefully prevent you from dying. The HP is over 2 million. That's why I went for an immortal killer card with the 600% HP bonus. So early on I want to try and match dark gems like so. Need to match dark gems again, and now I have the 2 golems cards ready to use. So here we go, let's use one of them. Like so. And now I should be able to start doing some pretty decent damage to this. I use this card and this card. There's not much point in using this one, as well as hopefully the boss will die on this turn. Okay, didn't die. I will now use this card. Actually, I'm not sure what I will use. I will use this one and then just hopefully match enough to kill it this time. Yeah, there we go. I wanted to save the golems card for the next wave, which I've managed to do. So I think, yeah, this time use the ultra rare and just carefully match a few gems. It's matching quite a few actually. There we go. So this turn, hopefully I can get something going. So there's a power gem 5 with a power gem 8 here. I'm going to just match those 2 together like so. That's done enough damage to defeat this wave. And then finally the proper boss, the end boss. So again, same process as before. That was actually a pretty decent hit considering I wasn't really matching anything. So I'm going to give it one more turn. I could do a few more power gems on the grid before I make a decent attack. That's better, there we go. So I've used the massive damage reduction card. Hopefully the next hit will hardly do any damage. I'm going to try matching those 2. Always look for the 2 highest value power gems on the board. There we go. Now I'm going to just match these 2, I think. That should hopefully do a few billion. Yeah, there we go. So even with the event deck and 2 cards from the golems deck, it's not exactly a quick process. However, that's been a similar story with previous Crusade events as well. So this time I will match. I think that 15 gem is hiding a high value power gem. There's a level 9 gem on the grid as well. I'll try matching these 2. See what that does. That was a pretty good hit actually. That's killed the end boss. There we go. So that's the korelium map. So I was kind of hoping a solo boss would spawn there, but it's not. So I think now let's try out the team on the diamond boss. Going to try out the boss's team. Now last event, the guild bosses had fear and that completely messed me up. This time they don't have fear. However, they do have chaos, which is slightly annoying, but nowhere near as bad as fear was. So let's give this a go. Here we go. So hopefully I'll be able to do enough damage to defeat this boss. We will see though. The most important move at the start is to try and match dark gems. Unfortunately, Chaos messes up the grid each turn. However, once I have this up, I can get rid of the Chaos debuff. And now hopefully I can start doing some damage. Let's see. See what happens. Okay, there's not that much on the grid. I'll just try matching that for now. Matched lots of dark gems. That's not a bad first hit. Chaos back up though, which is kind of annoying. It's nowhere near as bad as Fear though, thank goodness. Fear last event was an absolute nightmare. So now I get this card back up and hopefully I can start getting some good damage going. It's removed Chaos. Let's have a go. Try matching those two. See, that was actually a pretty good hit, all things considering. So I'm probably going to get Chaosed again, unfortunately. Yeah, there we go. The poison damage is taking effect though, and taking down that HP quite fast actually, so... Oh, there we go, it's actually killed it. That was pretty easy, all things considering. Much, much easier than the horrible guild bosses from the last event. So I might as well just tag up the next one. I'm tempted to have a go at the korelium boss, but I haven't really got many korelium keys yet. I'm not afraid about wasting my diamond keys, but korelium keys are really important. So what I'm going to do now is continue with the korelium map until I get a solo boss up. Then I can give my deck a proper testing. So let's go back to the Crusade and see how long it takes to get a solo boss up. Alright, it took a few waves, but we do have a solo boss up now. Now please be really careful with the solo bosses as they have Toxin, and as you probably already know, Toxin blocks damage immunity skills, so if you don't have a counter, this will block the golems ultra rare, and then you won't be able to get that lovely supercharged bonus up. So there it is, there's the Toxin debuff. Now one of the event cards does have a counter, which is always useful. There we go. The ultimate form does not have a Toxin counter though, which is kind of strange. I was expecting it to be on that card, but the other two cards that spawn the power gems when you use the skill have the counter, so hopefully that will be enough to counter it. Otherwise, I'm going to have major problems with this boss. So here we go. Alright, hopefully I will be able to kill this in one attack. It all depends on a lot of factors though. So that's quite good. I've got enough dark gems to get the golems cards ready on turn 3. Now I just need to hope I don't get hit by toxin. Yes, dispelled it, so that's good. And now I'm going to try and do some damage. Let's see, 2 highest is probably in the corner there. Wow, that was a good start. That was a really good starting hit. Yeah, very good starting hit. It's actually killed the boss completely, so I did kind of get lucky there, if I'm being honest. Sometimes that would only do a few trillion. However, I managed to get 2 power gems on their own in the corner that were both high value, and that basically just killed the boss. So there we go. That's how to do a korelium solo boss. As I've already said though, be careful of toxin. You need a counter card if you're using the golems ultra rare, otherwise you're going to have major problems. So let's go on to the event rewards and the warden you get from the rewards. This time I have actually checked, it is a warden. Last time I thought it was a warden and it was a dragoon. So the event collection, yeah, this is a TPG collection, the Proving Grounds, so pretty crappy rewards if I'm being honest. You get a load of gauntlets and protector coins, items you probably won't really need. Depends on how active your guild is in TPG. So let's have a look here. It's a water warden. Let's have a look at its skills. The stats are okay. The attack is really low again though, so not really that effective as a warden in a defense. And Siphon is basically useless. So that's what the warden looks like. Probably not a warden you're going to want to use in your GVG defense, if I'm being honest, unless you need it as a filler until you get something better. So finally, let's have a look at some of the previous decks. If you are wondering what to spend your coins on, so here we go. Going on to the season rewards. Takes a bit of time to load this, as you're probably seeing. So don't forget, there is a quest to kill 5 solo bosses with the support card in your team. Easier if you do that on one of the lower maps, probably Ruby or lower. So the other 2 decks, this was also Immortal Killer. This one spawns more power gems than the current deck. I don't think it has that passive though that does damage. Just have a look. No, it just creates a lot of water gems, so yeah, it's up to you really. I think this deck's probably a bit better than the current deck, but that's up to you to decide. And then the Slayer Dark deck, Chaotic Killer. This one has that self-attack bonus, so again, it's alright. Spawns quite a lot of power gems, so it's kind of tough to decide between the decks so far. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, however, Immortal Killer decks are always going to be useful due to the Golems ultra rare. You might even find you can create some sort of mixed attack team in your GVG attack. And that pretty much covers this event. I'm going to finally go over to the store once it loads. It's taking a bit of time. Sorry about that. Nothing I could do here. This always takes quite a long time. So last event you may have seen some weird packs that give guaranteed cards but got ridiculously expensive. They've got rid of those and brought back the proper revival packs. So that's good for those who want the coins for the season. I recommend trying to buy the first 2 tiers of all revival packs if you can. This gives you the optimal amount of the choice coins and also gives you a free support card. Past tier 2 it does get a bit expensive, even though you get a guaranteed relic on tier 3 and the guaranteed main hero on tier 4. I do only recommend buying the first 2 tiers though, just for those season coins. And there we go. I think I'm about done with this event. If you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this, please let me know in the comments. I think I've pretty much made about as good decks as I'm going to manage for this event. I don't think there's any other better combination that does not use the golems deck. I might be wrong though. Please let me know if I am wrong. And thanks for watching.